Hello again, everybody. I am back again. I guess I've been gone for a little while. Well, not really gone. I just haven't put up any videos for a little while. And main reason is I've just been really busy at work. Of course, this is summer when I am the busiest, I guess. It's where all the work, the road work and stuff takes place in the summertime. So we have been working pretty much continuously, so that is a good thing though. Anyway, I'm back up here again with the trencher, and I have done a couple of things to it. I didn't really have time to film it when I did it. Well, the main thing I did is I fixed the problem with high range. If y'all remember, this lever right here does high and low range. That is high range. That is low range. Now, the washer and all that's not supposed to be there. I'm going to cut that back off probably because I didn't really need. I thought maybe it wasn't going over far enough. It was. Okay. One reason I didn't film the process of fixing it was I couldn't actually get the gearbox to come out without completely taking the transmission out. So, because of the way the frame is made, let me see if I can get y'all in there. Right in here, this is the hydraulic motor that drives the transmission. Of course, back here is the transmission. And this piece, you can kind of see it up here coming around, is the gear reduction box. And you can see there are a couple of bolts. Actually, you can't hardly see them. There's one back here and one over here. Yeah, there's not much visibility back in here to see what's going on. But essentially, this is the motor. There's a gearbox right here that selects high and low range. And then, so you may be able to see the shift lever that goes across to the other side. If the camera will sit here, I will work that lever back and forth a couple of times so you can see what moves. There is low range and there's high range. So you can see that that lever moves completely. Okay, so basically what it was, there is a gear. I'll put up a diagram of it showing you. I found a diagram online that shows how everything was supposed to be. Okay, there is a gear in there that has teeth on the outside and it has teeth on the inside. And what that's meant to do is slide over top of another smaller gear, and it slides back and forth on that gear. It engages on one side, it engages a smaller gear that is coupled to the motor drive gear. And that small gear going to this bigger one actually makes the gear ratio go down. So that's how you get it into low range, is when the bigger gear is slid over and making contact with the other smaller gear. And what had happened with that lever pushes a fork that kind of grabs the gear and pushes back and forth like that. And what was happening was the fork was pushing it properly, the proper distance. That was working fine. But what it was meant to do, the center cutout shape on the gear was meant to go over the other gear on the drive motor. And it essentially couples the gear on the transmission input shaft. It couples that gear directly with the motor gear coming out of the hydraulic motor. So it is essentially a 1-to-1 ratio then. The only purpose of that gear at that point is to lock those two together. It free spins on top and it doesn't come in contact with there's a gap in the top gear. And that sliding gear is spinning in that gap. So what was happening was it wasn't going back far enough. I mean, the gear was going back far enough, but it wasn't contacting the gear on the motor. There is a clip on that's supposed to go on the motor. It clips on it and keeps the motor gear from sliding back too far. So what was happening is that motor gear was slid all the way back on the motor. And because of that, the gear with the hole in the middle of it couldn't slide on to the motor gear because it couldn't go back far enough. All I did, I couldn't find the clip. I don't know whatever happened to it. I actually didn't try to find another one because I found that I could just put a washer, a rubber washer, a couple of them, behind that gear. It pushes it out, spaces it out just enough. Now that gear can slide back and forth, and it can couple the hydraulic motor gear and the transmission gear together for that 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, the only problem with the digging ability of this thing, and it will flat dig for its size. Actually, it kind of surprises me how deep of a hole you can dig before you realize how deep you're going, and that's one of my problems. The only problem with the, well, we'll call it a dozer. The only problem with the dozer operation of this machine is my knowledge base of operating a dozer, which is getting better. I'm learning, and I guess the only way really to learn how to operate a dozer is to operate a dozer. So that's what I've been doing. I've been playing around with it some. Not enough apparently, because I'm not very good at it yet, but I will get there. And it will be a very handy tool for me. I've already used it in the creek some. I was thinking there's a road over there. You can't really tell, but there used to be a road right there. Right now it's more of a 4-wheeler trail. Used to be able to, you could get cars and trucks up through there. I can probably make it to where I can get my truck up it. I won't be bringing a car up here. Eventually, I would kind of like to get it to where I could bring Zephyr up here, because this would be a fairly nice place to camp up here. Nice and flat land. And, well, I mean, you don't have a ton of solar up here. You do have some, but, I mean, of course, you've got trees, but I mean it is a little open on top, so we could camp up here, but I would have to work this road. First thing though, what I want to do is I want to kind of demonstrate how this thing works to dig a ditch, and it works pretty good. Let me just randomly select a place for a ditch. I don't really need a ditch up here for anything, but let's just dig a ditch just to demonstrate how it works, and I'll just fill it back in. Alright, so as far as ditches go, I kind of knocked some of it back in, but that's a pretty good ditch. I mean, I've dug a couple of them. Now this right here, I think it was me stepping over it. I knocked some of it back in, but as far as burying something in there, you could definitely bury something in there. So I guess I'll fill that back in, and then we'll try some actual dozer work. Okay, so, well, we just dug a ditch and filled it back in. I can actually do that for fun now. That would have been something I would have never considered fun before, but now, you know, that was kind of fun. I didn't even put anything in the ditch. I should have at least threw some sticks in it or something, but just dug a ditch and covered it, just for the fun of it. Anyway. Now, let me try my hand at building a road. It's probably not going to turn out that great. And I'm not going to put too much time into it. I've got time to fool with it, but just going to see what I can do. All right, well, there's a road here now. Is it an expertly done, extremely smooth and perfectly on grade road? No, of course not. Can you get a vehicle over it? Probably, and that's the goal. So, yeah, actually, it is dog approved. So, you know, if you can pass that test, then everything else just really doesn't matter. Look how satisfied he is. So, yeah. I think I must have done pretty good. Anyway, I'm not going to try it out tonight because I've got to work that side over there more, and I think that's going to be about all I'm going to do today with the bulldozer, trencher. Oh yeah, we did have a few names suggested. Okay, so I've had some really good suggestions. A couple of them I kind of liked. One was Big John, and the other was Rex. And I think we have decided we're going to call it T-Rex. Because, well, I'm going to call it Rex, and it's a trencher. And, well, trencher starts with a T, so, you know, T-Rex. Anyway, I guess it's T-Rex. Anyway, yeah. I guess that's going to be about it for my little video today. I know I haven't been posting much lately. I'm going to try to do better. Busy part of the summer, of course, but we'll see what we can do to come up with some more content. I do have a fuel injector cleaner that I'm going to show y'all that I made. And it's basically just made out of plumbing parts and fuel filter and just... I'll show you. But anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for this little video. I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.